offline and online advertising in Africa. Has the offline marketing become obsolete yet?
Welcome, guys. So today we have this beautiful panel with so important professionals together. So we will speak a bit about the situation here in Africa, and we will try to understand if online marketing and offline marketing can work well together or not. So just quick question. Who believes in this beautiful stage that online marketing is more important than offline marketing? Okay, so just a few people. And who believe offline is better than online? Nobody. Okay, we will discover that. So, first of all, first question. What do you think? What's the future of online marketing? Should be just online? Should be offline? What do you think for the future?
I think you need a mix of the two. So Africa, there's a bit of the offline media is not yet obsolete. And I would say you need a mix of two. Yes, digital is going. It's where we are going, and it's what we need to have. But again, we cannot say do away with the offline media. Case in point is the penetration of the internet, the smartphone. We still have the feature phones, and you need to reach those guys. So, for example, in the rural setup, guys always listening to the radio. Where I come from in vernacular stations are still there, and it's key for gaming. I still believe we need to give offline media, just from a branding perspective, just to always support the digital space.
Okay, Gala, what's your opinion?
Well, I honestly think there should be a holistic approach, actually. That's what I follow with my marketing team. So we kind of have an integrated marketing communication strategy when you combine online, digital marketing and offline as well. So we are here at this event, and this is offline marketing. So we are meeting people here, we're showing our brand, and that really works. And here, for example, a couple of days ago, we were going here to this venue, and a boy came up to the car, and he gave us a leaflet promoting online betting. So that's how it works here, and I think that even in the entire world, we shouldn't think that offline marketing, offline advertising is obsolete. It's still not. So we have to, combine it, have to mix the channels.
Michael, one question. What do you think? What's the right mix of budget between online and offline?
Yeah, the right mix of budget is always the biggest question, isn't it? I think when it comes to the betting market, you're competing with some very deep pockets from some of the bigger players. And so if you're a new entrant to the market, you have to have a strong blend between online and offline. For me, online is there to get you brand recognition and also allows you to repeatedly target your customers, especially once you've acquired them. Things like SMS reminders, push notifications, things like that. Whereas offline allows you to build a bit of trust with your community. So if you're a smaller player entering the market, I definitely believe having some targeted approaches in a controlled environment that can help build that trust in that community is very, very important.
Okay. What about affiliate strategy? To get a new affiliate on board, which kind of marketing will work better in terms of offline or online? What's your opinion?
In my opinion, I think digital, yes, is easier to measure digital more than the offline, the ATL bit of advertising. So I think digital is where affiliate comes in just to support the digital marketing concepts. So I think digital is good for measurement, and you're able to measure the ROI in terms of investments. I would consider, even as we have a mix of the two, from offline and ATL, BTL activities, of course, you need to allocate a better percentage of your online budget into the online and the digital space. Influencers, affiliates just come to support the digital space. And I think it's going to be bigger. We've seen it grow in different markets. And I think guys in the affiliate, operators need to work with affiliates just to support the activities on the ground. So I think digital, for me, I'll give it at least 60 to 70% of the budget. Of course, not forgetting the ATL and BTL.
Okay. Gala, do you agree 60% or you have a different opinion?
Well, I think that affiliate marketing drives online advertising and online marketing in general a lot, and we see the rising growth. I mean that it grows, affiliate marketing grows at about 8% every year now, so it's projected to grow. And we also empower, I mean, ad networks, affiliate programs, affiliate networks, we empower local people, users, mobile users inclusive, to do their own business. So they have access to internet and they can do a lot of things, and they can also promote e-commerce adoption, which is also nice. And by building trust with local communities, we can also promote this kind of thing, like affiliate marketing, what we're doing here.
So trust factor is really important. Usually people say that offline will help you better with this trust factor. Maybe I'm not so agree with that. Michael, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely believe that the offline side of things creates that trust factor. I think if you look at, back on the affiliate question related to trust, yes, online is much easier to measure investment versus return. But are you building that trust with the consumer, or are they quite easily converted to an alternative brand? Is a good question mark. If we look at in the offline space, we have some very big betting partners within South Africa in particular. I mean, we can thinking about Hollywood Bets, for example, with a very strong physical presence with affiliate field marketers. Even some smaller players more recently have started taking that and growing that and targeting it. And I think that's because they've been able to build trust in that community, in an area. A lot of suggestions when I'm working with our betting partners, especially the smaller players, is say, don't try and take South Africa. There's too many big players right now. If you can focus on, for example, an area such as Dunoon or Khayelitsha or Tembisa or Soweto, and make that a hub of yours and really drive that for months and into time, I think you can build that trust with the community, with the customers in that area, with the store owners, with the players, and that can be a great return.
Yeah, in this case, we speak always about this domino effect that you can have just when you have a big budget in some small area. Do you have any experience in your life about this impact?
I think believability is very key. What you don't see, what you don't hear, it's hard to trust. So I think even as we shift our focus into the online space, like my colleague has spoken, is the trust issues. The affiliates working with brands, and of course, there's a trust in the payments. Of course, we need to address that in the African setup. So I think, yes, in terms of trust, I think the offline media, you'll trust. If we work with a sponsorship for, let's say, a TV station, of course, you'll be more secure if your ads are there. You believe the reach, the awareness bit of it is there. But in the digital space, sometimes you're working with influencers. Some of them are not being authentic and are not being true to themselves. So that's the only bit I would say, yes. It's more than beats the eye. So we need to... ethical issues need to come in place as we work with the affiliates and all the bigger, and there's a new venture that is coming in to support the online gaming. But again, we need, as people, we need to address that. We need to look what we speak. Yeah.
In our industry, it's really important to create this kind of community. And from your experience, what is the best way to create a community with affiliates, bridging online and offline? If you have any case that you can tell us.
So to foster their relationships, right? Well, I see that many companies invest a lot in events, sponsorships, and some local community initiatives as well. Corporate social responsibilities. So we see that they are working on, building schools and nurseries and so on and so forth. So I think that this way, well, of course, you may spend a lot of time and money on that, but in this way, you're building that kind of trust we're talking about, and make sure that a lot more people, know about your brand, recognize it, and trust you anyway. But that's not everything. I think that your product itself and the, outstanding support, your service should work for you first. And then everything else.
That's true. Just a good product can improve our marketing ability. Michael, what about, in your experience, about the budget that sometimes we can invest in marketing activity offline for experience of our affiliates team, of our small community? Or what do you think? Which kind of effect they can generate?
Yeah, the efforts are always the interesting one when it comes to offline versus online. And I think that's often where a lot of people get scared with offline advertising, in particular around affiliate teams, field marketing teams. It's hard. It's not easy. It often comes down to, do you partner with potentially a marketing agency company, do it yourself, sort of grassroots and homegrown. But that obviously comes with a lot of effort in doing that within your own company. Where something like online, trying to drive affiliate and trying to drive adoption, it is a little bit more, I'm going to say, coin operated. What you invest is what you get out, and ultimately you're really competing with everybody else in that space. But yeah, from an offline perspective, which is where I'm typically more comfortable from, I don't think it's as hard as people make it seem. Having a team of 5 with a team leader, targeting customers, doing events, customer activations in an area can be done and can be done successfully.
That's perfect. Thanks. And what's your experience about the opportunity that we have for the future? So looking the market today, what do you think will be the next trends in terms of marketing activity for acquisition of customer, acquisition of affiliates in the future?
The future is bright for affiliates. For sure, marketing is a science, we all know. And every other time, there's not products that you're going to push out to the market without proper marketing. So of course, brands trying to launch in the African markets, of course, you have to think of the investment bit of it in marketing. I have a blend of the 360 kind of marketing approach. As much as you have doing your BTL activities, just do a bit of ATL work with the digital space. Digital is a bit wild, there's future. Of course, we are seeing some different channels, there are different innovations coming. Of course, the DSPs, we are not using DSPs enough because we all speak about traffic. We're having DSPs across. We have publishers who are coming on board to work with people. So I think the future is good, especially in the digital space. So I would say we need to align ourselves and our thoughts in the digital, but not forget, this is Africa. Not again, we should forget our ATL and BTL activities.
Yes. And Africa is so large continent with this demographic that is growing so fast. Gala, what's your opinion about the impact that new generation can have in the affiliates world?
Well, I envision a brighter future for new generations in Africa while we're speaking about mobile-first approach. And of course, it's going to be grow in the nearest years, I'm sure. And also affiliate marketing is just, Africa's affiliate market is just 2% of the global spend. It's not a lot, so I think that it's projected to grow as well. As I've mentioned, it's about like 8% every year. So AI adoption is also popular, and I think that it will be changing a lot of things here as well. And responsible consumption is what we have to think about.
Michael, what's your experience about the offline marketing? How do you see the trends for the future?
Yeah, I think it's here to stay for at least the next few years, that's for sure. I mean, offline marketing, I don't believe is going away anytime soon. I think like Gala was saying earlier, just look around us here. Clearly, offline marketing works in some instances and has its place. This might be corporate, but if you look at our markets, or at least the markets that we typically target in the informal mass markets, it equally plays a very strong role. I think looking at new territories, Botswana's coming up. It's just gone through new regulation with a handful of companies getting regulated. There's going to be a significant digital but also offline land grab in that space for the partners, and in particular around affiliates. It's who has the right affiliates in that space, both online and offline, is going to potentially win.
Coming to regulated markets, what's your opinion? Is best to invest in regulated market or unregulated market? Which is the difference? How you manage, let's say, the budget in different scenarios?
I think regulated markets gives you a soft landing. Of course, it gives you the consciousness and the ability to push out your brand out there without fear. Unregulated, it's uncertain. You don't know when the new laws can come in and block your outside. So, like I would say, yes, we've seen governments in Africa coming up with laws to try to regulate the industry, which I feel is a good thing. We have regulators in different countries try to benchmark from one another, learn new ways of regulating the market, and make sure at least they give opportunities to every operator, to every service provider. I like what South Africa is doing. Before you launch your games, they have to be certified and all that. I think Kenya needs to borrow that and leave. And yes, we need to have, of course, when you work in regulated market, of course, there's player protection and all that. So it all works from end to end. So you have to look at it even as an investor pushing out my games into Africa. Are we addressing the issue of player protection? Then, as much as we are looking at the anchor of revenue, we also need to take care of society issues. So I think unregulated markets, they need to jump into the other side, for me.
Gala, what's your opinion about regulated and unregulated markets? Which market works best for online, which for offline?
Well, today I think that we leverage both. I mean, we are all together here, but it's all about like short-term and long-term, success and profits. So if we're talking about short-term, okay, we can tap into unregulated markets. But if we are, planning our long-term future and a sustainable future for the local people, for our organization, we have to deal with regulated markets anyway. And it also helps is operations anyway, ease and scale them. Thank you.
Michael, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think for me, it's you got to assume that ultimately the markets will be regulated. It's an assumption that we take when we either open up new territories or move into new countries, is it will become regulated if it's not already. So, like Gala says, short-term gains in unregulated markets, but then being part of the change and taking on and being part of the regulation process is very key. And if a betting company can be seen and be part of that process, I think it goes a really long way, not only for their brand, builds trust with the consumer, but it builds trust and brand recognition with the operators as well as the regulators, which we know can have a good benefit.
We see in regulated markets some kind of strong attention on the brands and everything that is connected with the responsible gaming. So this is something I think very important. Do you see something that's happening even in Africa, where the brands is not just communicate the opportunity, the bonus, the bet, but is working on this kind of social responsibility impact and responsible gaming? Do you have any experience you want to share with us?
Yeah, for sure. We work with a lot of partners, and we've seen other partners that we don't work with constantly working with the communities, rugby clubs, soccer clubs, even at schools sponsoring sports kits, things like that. And I think that's a very strong requirement, at least in South Africa, that the company should be focusing on, is how they give back to the communities. They're operating in these communities, and they should be delivering value to those communities outside of just their product that they're offering.
Gala, what's your opinion?
Well, we have a strong KYC system and anti-fraud system in place. So I think this kind of things is like minimum standard you should have, to ensure responsible or gaming responsible business overall. So yeah, I completely agree. I can relate to what's been said. Yeah, thank you.
What's your opinion?
I think there are new innovations on how to reduce the user journey from registration direct to the tickets. We can see conversations arising from frictionless activities into the registration. So as much as we have to implement the KYC, of course, we are trying as operators to make sure we shorten the journey. Whereas direct to the others are using bots to place a bet without registration and so forth. So I think for regulation is good from advertising, from customer side, which is the user journey, and across the whole spectrum of the operations. I think regulation is good.
Okay. So last question. What do you think is the best case of online and offline advertising? Which campaign do you remember? Which campaign has been unforgettable for you?
There are a lot, I think. Well, I love IKEA, you know. IKEA with its like family approach, and they like align everything they're doing, every message in every channel with their brand guidelines. So they're unique and they are consistent in every channel, and you can feel that touch. That's what I love.
Michael.
Yeah. And
Tough question,
yeah,
huh?
no
Because
need
we
to put
have
us
so
on the
many
spot.
advertising.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough to remember someone.
We've only got each by 50, 60 partners that we had to pick one. No, there's been a few campaigns that have really stood out. I think the best ones that we've been a part of have been the ones that were the grassroots. So we've worked directly with some of our partners in the rugby industry in particular, just giving back to local rugby clubs, T-shirts, caps, helping them with their kids with school fees at those rugby clubs. Those are the campaigns that have stood out the most for us. We can always do, radio and online advertising, but I think those ones are really special for me personally.
Guys, we are running out of time. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for this amazing panel, and let's meet soon.